Hello, my name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. Today I wanted to talk about a young woman. It's in the news, one Greta Thunberg. She's a 16-year-old Swedish teenager who has undertaken the mission to wake up the world and motivate the world, us, to fight climate change. And she's starting at the top. Good for her. Anyway, here's her, let me show you her chart. Her information is, and I don't have it all, I don't know her birth time, but she was born 3rd January 2003 in Stockholm, Sweden. And because I don't have the time, I can only guess at her moon phase. It's either a 1 or a 2. Now, most likely it's a 1 because the moon was in, well, let me show you this. Moon was in moon phase 1 through most of the day and didn't get to moon phase 1 until the sun would have been, or moon phase 2 until the sun would have gotten down here. So, I think she's a moon phase 1. So let's look at the system here. Moon phase 1 is the material, the physical expression of spiritual perfection. Now, moon phase 1 is a highly motivated spiritual being, and their job simply is to learn to make the transition. They are at one of the transition phases, like 8, 15, and 22, and their job is to go from 1 quarter and that element into a brand new element, a brand new quarter. And so the brand new quarter that moon phase 1 is coming into here is the physical quarter. And so this highly spiritual person has got to learn to regard the body with love and care, to virtually spiritualize the physical. The problem that a moon phase 1 has is all through this fire quarter here, those phases were willing to sacrifice the physical for spiritual purposes, to achieve spiritual purposes. So we have Evel Knievel, we have martyrs in here. Gandhi was right here. People who are willing, who do sacrifice in order to do a spiritual work. So the transition from that spiritual heavy accomplishment to paying attention to the body and to learning to well, just pay attention to the body, because here's what's important in this quarter is your instincts guide you through that quarter. You know, born into a dangerous world here, and your instincts will tell you yay or nay about everything in the world, including about other people. And so the instincts are stored in the body. Our instincts are virtually created out of everything we ever experienced and learned. That becomes instinct. What I learn this lifetime, next lifetime, I will carry that knowledge as instinct, and that is in a physical quality. The instincts reside in the body. And so this very spiritual person has to come down to earth and realize that the earth too is sacred and deserves care and love and consideration. So that's a moon phase 1. Now moon phase 2, that's where that energy, the energy of the Demogorgon on the physical plane, is dumped into the lifetime, and they simply have to get busy. They have to be very busy. Moon phase 1 simply does whatever it's got to make that learn to appreciate the physical, so that it actually wants to do something within the physical realm, something, explore something, create something. And Moon Phase 2 learns what the Demogorgon, that terrible, wrathful energy that has been dumped into this life, has to learn what the Demogorgon wants to do this lifetime. The Demogorgon, that new energy brings new potentials. So it's an addition. And it's given to us in its original condition, which is wrathful, wild, selfish, etc. And so what Moon Phase 2 has to do with that energy is simply run it. Because if he's not physically active, he becomes emotionally and intellectually abusive. The energy has to run. And if it spends all of its time in the easy chair, it's going to be very angry and wrathful. That's its nature. So Moon Phase 2 just does whatever is around it. It's to work. That's its job. It's karma. Its body of fate is over there working, doing something. Virgo. And so it doesn't go far afield to find stuff to do. It does whatever it needs to be done. And stays busy at it, and is allowed to roam freely to discover what the energy really likes to do or really wants to do. It's kind of an exploration. Yeats called it a meander. It was a meander. The meander of the fool is a blessing to Moon Phase 2. He needs to wander around and do whatever looks fun, and to do whatever needs done. So that's the difference between a moon phase 1 and a 2. Now, the reason I think it doesn't matter is because if she's a moon phase 1, she's definitely doing her 2. Notice that the ones with the stars here are the ones that have to be physically incarnated. They, you can skip a moon phase 2 if you do your moon phase 1 properly. If you develop that enthusiasm and start using your energies to explore the world and to explore yourself. That's a big issue about moon phase 1 and 2, is who do you find yourself out to be this lifetime? And they're busy learning. So I think that Greta Thunberg is doing, if she's a 1, she's doing a 2. She's doing them both. But she can. This is a very powerful young woman. Let me show you her chart again here. Now, let's look at the shape of this chart. We've got a planet here and one here, and a bundle. This is called a bundle of them over here. And so it's kind of called the wheelbarrow. And these are the handles of this wheelbarrow. And so they're exceedingly important. This is where you get a handle on all of this. So Saturn, let's look at the Saturn. The Saturn is very important here. It's in mutual reception to the Mercury, which is up here in Capricorn. And that Mercury is conjunct the moon in Capricorn. And that Saturn, we don't know who rules this chart. But who rules the most of this chart in the way it stands, and we're not including the midheaven or the ascendant because we don't know the midheaven or the ascendant. But Saturn rules the sun, and the sun rules Jupiter, and down here, Jupiter. And Jupiter rules Pluto. Over here. Where's Pluto? He's over here by Venus. Somewhere. Oh, there he is. Jupiter rules Pluto and the South Node. And let's see, where was how Jupiter rules Pluto, and the Sun rules Jupiter, and therefore Saturn rules everybody. Everybody but the Mars and Venus over here. Saturn rules all of these planets. It is the dominant planet. The only ones that are not in its rulership, are not under its rulership, are the Mars and Venus, and that is under Mars's rulership. So we've got the Saturn and the Mercury in mutual reception. And that gives our Greta Thunberg, some say she might be autistic. But this Saturn, Mercury here, notice the Mercury is conjunct the Capricorn. And the Capricorn is very, conjunct the moon in Capricorn, sorry. The Capricorn moon is an ambitious moon. She knows what needs to happen, and so she can be called manipulative because she is manipulative. So anyway, the moon is very thoughtful and thinks about, because she's conjunct Mercury, about what she wants to say and how she's going to put this before she speaks. So this is a very thoughtful communicator here. The moon is out of bounds. So the ambition stored up in that moon is huge. Remember, in Yeats' system, the moon is ambitious for the sun. The moon is what makes the sun. Moon is what motivates the sun. Moves the sun off of its comfortable seat in front of the TV, and gets him out to do what needs to be done. And if it weren't for the moon, the sun would simply sit in front of the TV, and that would be it. It might not be a bad thing. Anyway, that's a very ambitious moon, and it was a very out-of-bounds moon. So what you've got when you've got a planet out of bounds is that they develop a greater ambition than normal. And so this moon's ambition up here is virtually to transform the world. Let's look at the sun. The moon is the one that tells the sun what he should be doing. The sun is guided. That's Chiron there, right next to the sun. That is exceedingly interesting. Chiron is conjunct the sun. But the leading planet, and one's leading planet is always important because it gives you a clue about solar potentials and their deep motivations. And this is Pluto. This is a power. This woman wants the power to change the world. And therefore, she's a very careful speaker. So the moon, Pluto in Sagittarius is the transformation of our belief systems. And our belief systems are incredibly limiting, because if you don't believe you can do it, then you can't. So the Pluto in Sagittarius wants us to break down the barriers in our belief system, so that we will recognize our greater potentials. And that is what Greta Thunberg is about. The Earth, she wants to save the world, the Earth. She loves the Earth. She has done what is necessary for Moon Phase 1, is to realize that the physical is sacred. And she's acting upon that. Now, this because we don't know what her ascendant is, and but it's interesting to note that the Earth would be a circle with a cross in it. Earth is always opposite the sun, so the Earth is at 12 Cancer, right down here, on her house of home. If you look at it as the sun. And I really like this chart. This is the way it came up. it would fit my idea of Greta, although I know very, very little about her. So this young woman is, she's got this, the Uranus up here is in Aquarius. Maybe I should just go through and point out what we've got here. We've got a Saturn in Gemini here at in the 25th degree. It's 24:15 retrograde. We've got a Jupiter at 16 Leo 40. Over here is Vesta, which I don't talk about much because I don't know much about her. Here's Juno, which I don't talk about because I don't know much about her. Here's Mars. Mars in 15 degrees, 21 degrees, sorry, 21 degrees Scorpio 09. And that's Venus right next to it in 26 degrees Scorpio. The South Node is there at 8 degrees Sagittarius. The Pluto is at 18 Sag 22. That's Chiron there, right next to the Sun. And I will talk about Chiron because I do know a little bit about Chiron. And so that's Chiron, that's the Sun. The Sun is at 12 degrees Capricorn. The Moon is at 20 degrees Capricorn. The Mercury is at 28 degrees Capricorn. The Neptune up there is at 9 Aquarius. 9.5 Aquarius. And that is Pallas Athena, which I'm starting to learn a little bit about. Up there next to Uranus, which I already pointed out. Let me have a sip of water. So the balance in this chart is she's pretty fairly well balanced in the elements. But she's got 5 planets in fixed signs. So this is a very, very stubborn woman. I was going to say the Uranus is parallel to the Pluto. And it gives them, that's in declination. They're at the same declination. They are not conjunct, but they're at the same declination, and it gives them a kind of conjunction. When you look at this, and you need to look at this in 3 dimensions, 4 actually, because that's time. So that Uranus-Pluto, just call it a conjunction, is an urge to break through limitations. It's an urge to break through obstacles. And then she's got this Chiron, Sun conjunction. And those people are inventors, originators. They start something. And they're willing to endure a lot of opposition in order to do what they want to do. They overcome obstacles because they have this deep feeling of destiny. Okay, now this Chiron up here has got an aspect to the North Node, and the North Node is where? Oh, it's over here in Gemini, right there. It's got an aspect to the North Node of 165 degrees, which some people call the Queen de Chile. And then we've got the Mars over here. It's got this same aspect, the Queen de Chile, to the North Node. Now that is the aspect of tenacity, the snapping turtle aspect. And between the Mars and the Chiron is septile, 1/7 of the circle. That's 52 degrees, almost 52 degrees. And the septile is cool because it means that you've the coming wave, you're participating in the changes of the times. You are doing something creative within that wave of transformation. And she is aptly and perfectly situated to use that septile. She's a powerful, tenacious woman. The Jupiter is Jupiter down here is a contraparallel to the Chiron, and that is gives her a love of life and a gift of vision. A gift of vision. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the asteroid Chiron is cool, and so is the asteroid Pallas Athena. And Pallas Athena is right up there next to Uranus. Oh. And the Pallas Athena is, she was the one, the goddess that was born out of the head of Jupiter. And so she's the father's daughter. And she is a warrior goddess. So she's quite male in her attitude, quite Martian, quite Marsian in her attitude. And so she's a fighter for justice. She's the goddess of wisdom, the wise use of one's Mars. She's an activist. And when she's conjunct Uranus, we've got the political revolutionary, the humanitarian that's willing to go to war for you. The Uranus up there is square to the Mars and the Venus over here on the right now on the descendant. And that gives her a need for balance. A need, and that's the square to the Venus. Need to find balance within her energies so that she doesn't fly apart. And the Uranus square to the Mars is she needs to access her inner strength in order to control these energies, and to seek the courage to keep going. But she is tenacious. She is that Mars, Uranus square. Anything contacting Uranus is going to give you a certain amount of energy that's uncompromising, that demands what it wants, what it needs. It demands it. And Uranus is kind of uncompromising in that way. So Greta began her mission, and that Jupiter, she's got a wide opposition. The only opposition, well, no, she's got this opposition between Jupiter and Neptune. That opposition, well, that's why she felt she had the guts to tell the power, those old men and old women in power, that I will never forgive you if you don't act now. I will never forgive you. That's that Jupiter-Neptune opposition. Okay, what happened on August 20th of 2018 is that Greta went and sat outside the Capitol building. I've forgotten what it's called. Could be a Reichstag. I don't know. Of Sweden. And nobody would go with her. It was like a Monday or a Tuesday. Nobody would go with her, so she went by herself. And this started it. And that's her Chiron sun up there. These are initiators. They start something. Okay, on August 20th, 2018, the Mars in Sagittarius was moving over her Pluto. The Sun at 27 Leo was square her natal Venus, and opposing her natal Uranus, Pallas Athena. Her Venus transiting Venus was at 13 Libra, which is square the Sun and Chiron. The transiting Mars was at 29 Capricorn, which was conjunct her Mercury. The transiting Jupiter was at 16 Scorpio, which was square her natal Jupiter. Her transiting Neptune was at 16 Pisces, which was in conjunct her natal Jupiter. Pluto was at 19 Capricorn conjunct her natal moon. All these squares, she had to act, and she did. God bless her. God is bless her. We all should bless her and thank her for her work. And pray that she continues in good health and with success. I pray that she has success. Anyway, that's Greta Thunberg. I will be seeing you later, and I pray that you're doing well in these cold and difficult times. Bless you. Goodbye.